Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming. So thank you, Ken, for the introduction. So today we're going to talk about demand and supply as I discussed last week. The reason why today we're going to talk about demand and supply is because I believe personally it's important to know about demand and supply because it's going to be related to anything you do in life, any business that you want to do in life, because it's mostly like you need to know what's supply, what's your demand, where is the problem that you're going to solve in business. It could also apply to, when you want to buy token, for instance, like when you want to buy like a Bitcoin, it's always about the supply and demand. So anyway, economics is related to all of our lives, so it's important to know. So I'm going to share my screen here. So if you guys see my screen, can you guys see my screen? Okay, so great. So we're going to talk about like what's the law of demand and what's the law of supply. So demand, we have demand and we have supply, in the economics word as well. So it's, I don't think it's familiar to you guys. So I'm going to start from what's law of demand and what's law of supply. So the law of demand says that when price increase, when the demand increased, the price actually is oppositely decrease. So when you have like high price, the demand decrease. So when the price go down, the demand goes high. So the price and demand are indirectly related. They affect each other indirectly. So when we have, very discounted price on goods, there will be a lot of high demand. When we have a lot of like high price, the demand actually goes down. That's the law of demand talks about. So as you see on this graph, demand and price are indirectly related. So that's why the graph you see actually it's this line shows that they are only indirectly related. The slope, the graph sees that it's not directly, it's indirect graph that you see on here, because when the price increase above, the demand is decreasing. So this graph, we call it actually indirectly slope in the economics. So if we talk about the law of demand, we're going to talk about also law of supply. So on the law of supply, when the price high, the supply also high, because when we see that some things are expensive, people are buying it expensive, we want to sell it. So the supply of that good will increase as well. So price and supply are directly related. That's why it's positive slope you see on the supply part, but on the demand part, we were seeing negative slope. So always this kind of linear graphs indicates in any way a direct relationship between two goods. So we call this one x-axis, this one we call it y-axis. So if this graph is going upward, these two things have actually direct relationship. But when we come to here, you see the slope is downward. So because the price and the quantity of diamonds have indirect relationship. So we come to equilibrium. Why we say equilibrium is this place. Basically the demand and supply meets in here. So when demand is equals to supply, we call it equilibrium. So this part of the area, we call it equilibrium, or in the formula we call it QS is equals to QD, or supply is equals to demand. So this is the demand graph you see here. We put the supply and the demand together in one graph. So as you see, the demand have negative relationship with the price, but the supply has positive relationship with the price. So there is exceptions to law of demand. What are the exceptions? The law of demands doesn't apply to just two goods, gifting good and Veblen goods. We call the Veblen goods actually as a luxury good, gifting goods, we can call them as inferior goods. The inferior goods are basically, we can substitute them easily. For instance, if you like Coke, if you like Coke, and if the price of Coke increase and you can't afford it, you can literally substitute Coke with Pepsi. So those are inferior goods. So we don't care if the price of the good increase, if the price of the cola increase, because we can easily replace it with Pepsi. Let's say also, what is another replacement? We can actually talk about honey and sugar. If the price of sugar increase, we can replace that sugar with honey. We can drink our tea with honey, because that can actually replace the sugar part of it. So we can mention beers as well. For instance, if Heineken beer got expensive and if another brand beer is got cheaper, we always do the substitution algo. So in the law of demand, there is exceptions that the law of demand doesn't apply to this good. So that the first good is gifting good. So the second one is Veblen or luxury goods. Okay. So the other goods are actually the Veblen goods or the luxury goods. If you want to buy a Mercedes, you don't care how much the price is, because it's actually a luxury. If the price of diamond goes high, even if you don't afford it, you can accept the price. You cannot replace it with anything, or you don't actually say, oh, this is expensive, I'm not gonna buy it. So for the luxury part of the goods, the law of demand doesn't apply. Even though if it's expensive, if you have the money, still you're gonna buy it because it's luxury, it's expensive. We accept the price of this luxury good, like diamond and gold, or could be like very luxurious thing that you can imagine. So when we actually go and talk about the exceptions of law of supply, the first thing is we can say change in business, or also we can talk about cost of production. So what's this? When there are changes in the cost of the raw materials or labor to produce a unit of supply, the volume will change as well, assuming like the selling price remains the same, or the variable cost affecting the profit margins is a big factor in targeting the quantity to produce. So that's why there is exception on the cost of production. Could be also technological change as well, which is advancement in technology that actually can boost efficiency, like with units are produced or lessen the cost of production. That has a similar effect to the outlined under cost of production. The other thing could apply also computation. When there is a lot of computation, there is a probability that you are actually out of business. So even if there is people who can spend more money, or if the price is high, if there's a lot of competition around you, there could be there is exception that the law of supply, it doesn't apply to you, because you maybe exit from the market. The monopoly thing is like in monopoly, like when actually government intervenes and when they hold that industry, so you cannot actually as individual participate. On the legislation or legislation restriction quantity, when there is actually certain regulatory laws or codes may be put in the place limits to the quantity of a given product. For instance, if you talk about legislation of restriction quantity, in Ethiopia, when you export coffee, like we know the price of the coffee is very, very high. But even though the legislation affects us, if the price of the coffee is high, it doesn't matter because it doesn't allow us to produce more because of the legislation. That could also apply to the agricultural products because they are seasonal as well. If they are seasonal, it will affect the productions of the material. Even though if the price is high, you cannot still supply it. So why we call it exceptions? Because this exceptions of the reason, it doesn't actually help you to apply the law of supply, because those reasons actually makes you not to produce or be against the law of supply. this is why we call it exceptions to the law of supply. And the same thing with exceptions of the law of demand. And you can actually call a lot of things. You can actually mention a lot of reasons that why there are a lot of exceptions. This law of demand, they are against it. So in this topic, what we can learn is, mostly if we are in the crypto industry, we can actually use this idea to apply to buy tokens, to buy anything. It could be like to run your business as well. Today, I don't want to go to very, very deep, because if we talk about demand, we can talk about elasticity of demand, elasticity of supply, which is very more technical, and we cannot talk about just theory. But this is a kind of highlight for you guys to understand what is law of supply, or what is like law of demand, to understand like the general information about it. So the other thing I can actually also recommend, like for those like who are very interested to know what's happening in this world, or like if you're trying to find out different data about different countries, you can also help you to gather data. If you go to like data.worldbank.org, it can actually give you different data of a country, like all countries in this world, about their GDP, which is gross domestic product, about their life expectancy, who is doing more, which country is better, why they are better, what's happening in that country, because that's the whole data of the world that you can literally find, which is very, very helpful to understand even like why in specific country, why this is happening. So let me show you as I'm sharing my screen. We can actually go to data, World Bank. Kind of a little bit problem on the network, but as you see, you can actually like search data.worldbank like .org, could say maybe .org. It's the same thing. So I'll show you if this comes, but you can actually find a lot of information that for those who are, if you are interested to know about different countries, you can actually do your comparison. If you want to invest on real estate, if you want to invest on some specific project in different countries, you don't have to go anywhere. You can actually come to here. You can actually see the population, the life expectancy, how many literate people, how many illiterate people they do have, because that tells us a lot about a country. So you see, as it is showing here, you can literally go and choose a country from here, and you can see, you can create a report, you can actually see the data, you can see different countries of GDP. As you see here, I can choose, for instance, United States here, and I can learn about different population total, population growth, surface area, different important things that you need to do. Even you can download it to the chart as you wish to understand, or you can compare, you can choose or select different countries, and you can actually do comparison on inflation, as you see here, agriculture, forestry, fishing, a lot of information which is updated, like it's really updated. It's not all the information, they always update this page. So I don't want to do much, so today I'm gonna give to you guys to talk and to give us a kind of opinion about what you think and what kind of topic we should more bring to this class.
Hi, Jordan.
Hi.
I'd really like to learn about writing smart contracts like ourselves. Like, is that possible?
Okay. Uh, Actually, we're not. Ken, I don't think I'm not a coder. Like smart contract writer, but I don't think also Ken is. But we can actually bring the technical part of it, right, Ken? If I'm not mistaken, we can do.
We can demonstrate the smart contract. That's not a problem. So it's not like we can display how it works. I do have the code. We can show it, but not to the advanced level. But we can write, just a simple code to see how the contract are being deployed on remix.org. So yeah, I still have the basic knowledge of that. So we can actually do that, but we have to check the cost and how, like, to deploy it. As I said, it's not something like cheap, so it's expensive. That's why no one can just wake up like, I want to have smart contract for my wallet address or for anything. So it has to be like for business purposes. So that's why but I will look into the cost, and if it is something we can manage, so we're gonna have to I will let you know. We'll let you know about it.
That'd be great. Okay then, thank you. Do you have any recommendations, like, of what we could be learning in this space?
Do you mean for crypto exchanges?
For crypto or anything that's going to help us in investments.
Yeah, so Tima is saying also like wallet safety, security, such kind of thing, like that you guys are saying, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we're gonna talk about then the next class, a kind of wallet safety and security, navigating online. Tima said so, I guess, right? Yeah, navigating crypto online in crypto. So we'll do that. So different types of exchange that we can actually look at and recommend. That's also a good idea. So we're writing down this. Then write down different types of exchange. That's good.
Thank you. So I think also like which coins to invest in. What are we looking for when we're researching the tokens? What's the best thing to look for? What are the guidelines for investing?
Okay, all right. Let me say something on that, and I'm gonna take it back to what we just discussed, which is demand and supply. So generally, sometimes if you want to make decision on which crypto should I buy, so we call something speculation and investment. So cryptocurrency are known for their speculative nature. Many people invest in cryptocurrency with the hope that their value will increase over time. So the law of demand applies here as well. When more people speculate on the price of a cryptocurrency, or if they are talking about it, just like if they're gonna launch any NFT projects, the more people talk about it, it can create a surge in demand and driving the price up. But conversely, if people lose confidence and you have less people who are interested in it, the demand can fall and that's gonna cause a price decline. So you can use these, and you can also apply something called price and quantity demand, which is like just like Bitcoin and Ethereum. So they are also subject to law of demand if assuming all other factors remain constant, like there's no bankrupt, there's full whatever back the token you stay intact. So if more people are willing to invest in cryptocurrency, so they're gonna make sure they are affordable. For example, Ethereum right now just dipped down to, I think, 1,490. So if anyone wanna buy Ethereum, it's gonna be like the right time to buy it, because right now, it's more affordable, and there will be high demand. Because there's high demand right now, it's more affordable. So by the time it decreases, the quantity demand may decrease. Because right now, for example, Bitcoin right now is 28,000 plus. So only people who are capable of such amounts can buy Bitcoin right now. Someone like me, I would go for Ethereum right now. So I cannot afford, to buy 3 BTC or 4 BTC right now. But if BTC deep down to maybe 20,000 or 18,000, you see more people they wanna acquire the token at that time. So if it is new token, you can apply, the price and quantity demand. You can apply market dynamics or speculation and investment. So the topic today is really important. The law of demand and law of supply. So if you apply it wisely, so how many people are talking about this? What is the supply on the market? Is supply volume more than what people want? It's just like you have 100 people and you have food for 10,000 people. They will be tired. So they will lose interest in the food. So imagine you have 10 people and you have just 7 food. Everybody want to get it. So you have to apply it the law of demand and law of supply, apply it very well before you, when it comes to investing in cryptocurrency. So that is what I want to say, about law of supply and demand and how to choose.
And what I read was when law of supply and demand in Bitcoin, also how they apply. They basically get your data. If you're searching a lot about Bitcoin, that's basically you're demanding it. They count it as a demanding. So they determine also, or they set the price based on even your Google search. So yeah. Literally they're taking a survey from your Google search. That's how their algorithm work, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
So Bitcoin went up by 9.3% overnight. What do you think would have driven that?
Yeah. Say what?
Bitcoin went up by about 9% overnight. What do you think would have driven Bitcoin up? Why are people?
It's basically first time it was supplied, right? High supply. Some things are available for you to buy, but you don't give it, you don't even focus on it. So the supply was there, right? A lot of supply, but the demand wasn't there. So people didn't care about it. So when the price started going up, it can't actually, you heard when I was talking about there are exceptional good. Even the Bitcoin price is expensive, people still want it. I guess I can include Bitcoin as a gift, as a luxury good at this moment, because even though if the price is high, you will still buy it because it's kind of luxury for people to make money. Yeah. So at that time, they didn't focus about it. So when there is a shortage of supply, people still look for it. When there's something missing, that's when you will be looking at it. Where can I buy it? Where can I find it? So they do study, they do market study. So because of that, I guess they increase the price of the Bitcoin because there is a high demand there. And there is a scarcity as well in supply. If there is any scarcity, they apply that to use it and to increase the price. So in my opinion, that's the reason why most of the time, those coins like Ethereum and Bitcoin, they get expensive.
Yeah.
And
interesting.
Your day, I think the reason Bitcoin spiked up to 30,000, there was a false report regarding the approval of BlackRock's spot ETFs being approved. And that was a false report. It didn't actually happen. So it actually spiked and then it dropped again because it wasn't official. So it fell back to 28 as a result of that. But it did go up to 30,000 because actually that's a big thing. If these spot ETFs get approved by the SEC, which they invariably will, it means a lot more possibility for people, in the especially in the US. Yeah. In the crypto. So yeah, they said likely that will happen and the approval will come.
once the SEC completes its full assessment. So yeah, that's why it went up to 30,000. I think that was yesterday.
Oh, that's good to know. I didn't know that.
So it was just a false report. It didn't get
What? These are part of external factors that affect cryptocurrency. Sometimes there was a time, what is the president of this cryptocurrency? Like, Bitcoin is gonna reach $2 million or something. And, the price just went up, straight up. I think this happened like last 3 or 4 months. So, yeah, these are part of...
It's like the economics game, because when something is hyped, and that's how the marketing works, that's how the economics work as well. So the expectation of even on the law of demand or in supply, they said price increase because of expectation. Tomorrow, the price of this material will be high, so you start to buying today. So the expectation itself affects the price of a good or a service.
Yeah, awesome.
So if you don't have any more questions, I guess we're running out of time. So we'll appreciate all of you who attended today. So for next week, we will come with all the topics that you wrote. We will pick one interesting topic for you guys to learn and to fulfill what you have been asking today.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you guys, Dan.
Thank you, guys.
We appreciate you.
great class. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.